Can you tell me how my rights as a parent affected after this initial hearing? You will continue to influence many of the decisions about your child unless the court directs otherwise. Your continued participation in the service plan is one way for you to have influence. You should be able to visit regularly with your child unless the court determines that this would endanger his safety. Have a visiting plan. Work closely with the agency worker to develop a visiting plan that will work for you and your family. If your children have been placed in different homes, make sure that the plan also tells how they will be able to visit with each other. Visit as regularly as you can. This will be very important to your child. Follow the visitation plan and let the agency know that your children can depend on you. Ask your agency worker what you are supposed to do, and whom you call, if you cannot make a scheduled visit. If you need help in paying for transportation to the visits, talk with your agency worker about how to get tickets, tokens, or money to pay for travel expenses. Try to form a connection and relationship with the foster family or the staff where your child is. Some families have said that it is helpful to meet the foster family on neutral ground rather than going to their home, especially at first while you are getting to know each other. It might feel strange to be visiting with your own child. You might want to talk with someone who can help you cope with these feelings. When you visit and talk with your child, try to understand how difficult it is for him to have more than one caregiver right now. He might think that he has to choose between you and his foster parent. Let him know that he doesn't. What must happen to stop CPS to no longer be involved with my family? CPS should no longer be involved with your family when the following occur. The goals of the service plan have been met. You are able to ensure your child's safety. Your family can meet your child's needs. The court orders it. Can you tell me what laws guide CPS? Individual states have their own laws about child protective services. There also are federal laws, such as Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act, which guide CPS. The Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act was passed in 1974. This law was intended to improve CPS programs and make them more similar across the country. The United States Congress has amended it several times since it was passed. The most recent changes were made in 2010. What are some of the provisions of Child Abuse Protection and Treatment Act? Some of the things the law provides for include the following: investigation of CPS reports, prosecution of child abuse, child abuse prevention activities, training for CPS workers. In what ways does CAPTA affect families? Some of the ways that this law affects families include the following. The law allows parents to appeal a finding of abuse and neglect. The law states that abandoning an infant can be grounds for permanently terminating a parent's rights. The law requires healthcare providers to notify CPS of all newborn infants who are affected by illegal substance abuse or who have withdrawal symptoms that resulted from prenatal drug exposure. The law encourages states to ensure that children and families who speak limited English receive materials and services in their own language. The law encourages states to develop more prevention services, such as parent education, respite care, voluntary home visiting, and family support programs. If English is not your first language, ask for the information and other materials in your own language, or ask for a translator. Ask your agency worker what changes have been made in your state local area as a result of the 2010 amendments to CAPTA.